We are the AI Bots. I'm Chazzy, and with me is Dan Clark. How you doing, man?
Yeah, I'm doing good. Cheers, man. You?
Yeah, doing fantastic, mate. Yeah, we've had.
Good. It's been a while, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's been a little while since we've actually spoken. It's been like what, 2 weeks now?
Other than you being like in the other room.
Yeah, exactly. Playing on Battlefield.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because people think it's real.
Yes, we live in the same house. Honest.
Yeah, good time since.
Yeah, man, it's been really good, really good. Yeah, got some gameplay in it. Well, tried to get some gameplay in anyway. You know, it's been been really time limited. Like in the last couple of weeks, been really busy at work. So yeah, just been trying to kind of fit games in around real life. You know, that thing.
Yeah.
That kind of pops up and is really
Yeah, invasive, I think is the word.
Yeah, exactly. It just gets in the way, doesn't it? So.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, I've been trying to play like The Witcher 2 for I keep like getting in, like 20 minutes in here, half an hour in there. It's just, but it's never enough. You know, it's like that game really demands that you play it for 2 hours, 3 hours at a time. So I've just been struggling to like get any kind of time in with it.
Like if you played it for half an hour, how much story would you get out of it? Would you get enough to satisfy yourself? Or...
No, not anything, mate. Honestly, it's just like oh right, I've got half an hour. Okay, so that means I can quickly go around to the vendors, buy some like herbs and stuff, maybe get a new sword, and then that's it. I'm done. You know, once I've run to all the different vendors and run around the city and whatever, like, oh right, half hour's up. I've got to go and do something else now. Just you can't get anything out of it. You've got to kind of go, right, I'm going to go on a quest, and that's going to take me 2 hours to wander off and find this and get that and work these clues out, and I just haven't had the time to do it. So yeah, it's been a bit annoying.
That's a shame, man, because you were really enjoying that, weren't you?
Yeah, really enjoying it. So what I've got is I'm gonna book some time off soon, and I'm gonna just batter it, I think. And like play it in a really nice long play session, so I get
take
loads
like a
out of the
Witcher 2
story.
holiday. Literally become that character for the week.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
You can do it method style.
Yeah, and I'll dress up. I'll get like put on like skins of animals and kind of sit there crafting my own blade while I'm playing it.
And you can make do with a Sephiroth week. There must be loads of those.
Yeah. I'll find one of those in a fancy dress shop somewhere. But yeah, so yeah, I've had to put that on the back burner, unfortunately. But so I thought, right, I'm time limited. What can I do? I know. I'll see if I can find some short games and like get a couple of short games in.
Yeah.
So I ended up, due to me being a complete idiot, I ended up getting loads of money on PlayStation Network. Because what I did is being a genius, I thought, oh no, I'll buy that Dust 514 beta and just give that a little bit of a check out. You know, buy the Mercenary pack, gets you in on the beta. See what Dust 514 is all about.
Yeah.
And then click buy, and nothing happened. So I thought, oh, okay. Click buy again, nothing happened. Click buy again, nothing happened. Click buy again, nothing happened. Click buy the 5th time. Oh right, great, it's downloading. Downloaded it, and then all of a sudden my iPhone went bididing, bididing, bididing like 5 times. I'm like, okay, that's a bit weird. Look down. And every time I'd been hitting buy, I was actually paying for the game every time.
Man.
So yeah, I ended up with like 50 quid's worth of store credit on the PlayStation Network.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, right, what can I do with this 50 quid's worth of credit? I know. I haven't got much time at the moment. Journey's a really nice short game. I'll pay for Journey, because I've been wanting to play it for a while anyway.
Yeah.
So that's what I've done basically. I picked up Journey, and then one evening, like Saturday evening, and then played all the way through it with my like girlfriend and the little one, with me, watching it all the way through.
Oh wow.
It was really, really good. Like, rather than going out and getting a film or something, we all sort of sat down, turned all the lights off, and then got like really immersed into Journey. And it's really, really quality, because like it starts off and it's just like the most beautiful game I've ever seen. It's just stunning, absolutely stunning. I can't really explain. It's like a Pixar DreamWorks type, really realistic portrayal of a desert that you start off in, and you've got this like little character who's kind of in a shroud.
Yeah.
Who's quite floaty and sort of walks through the desert. And it's just like, you start off and you walk up this hill and it's like, oh, this is absolutely stunning. You know, you walk up this sand dune and like you're making trails in the sand and stuff, and you walk up to this sand dune and you hit the top, and then you get the big like late title card, and you think, oh, this is properly epic, you know. It was amazing, and yeah, it's just like the first impression of it was, wow, like, oh, this is something a bit special, you know. So we're all like drawn right into it, and then like sort of worked out. Like, obviously, I'd heard, but the girls didn't know anything about it, so like it was all about like had to explain to them that like, there was no dialogue in it, and that all the communication, like other people can join your game. Yeah. So you'll be like, if you're connected to the net, like people will just randomly sort of drop in and out of your game, and like you can communicate with them by pinging. So you sort of hit the right 2 trigger on the PlayStation, and then it goes bing, and like they sort of bing back if they're trying to talk back to you, or you can do,
or you can alert them to something. I suppose,
exactly. You can do a series of pings to say yes and a series of pings to say no, and and all that kind of stuff. And like I was explaining that to them, and you know, and we were just like, basically what I ended up doing was I was like the kind of director directing the guy through the world.
Yeah.
Where and getting the girls to go right, oh, go over there, or go and have a look at this thing, and you know, just kind of, you know, marshalling him through this world. It was really, really good. But like, you get this amazing sense of like you're wandering around in this desert, and like you get loads of like you're going up a sand dune, and so you can see the characters really struggling to kind of make it up the sand dune, and you get this mad feeling of like isolation because you're just you can't see anyone, and there's just, it stretches out as far as the eye can see, and you feel like you can go anywhere, you know. And it's like, oh, this is amazing, you know. It just makes it, you get all these like throughout the game, they're really, really good at like kind of pulling your strings, and like kind of using audio and visual cues to make you feel certain things, or like, you know, build things in certain ways that like really kind of give you a massive emotional impact.
Kind of like Miyamoto does, but like I guess to a more emotional extent, rather than just leading you through the game.
Yeah, very much so, very much so. You know, there's like kind of like really, you'll have like the big bad thing, and it'll be like a very large, intimidating thing that kind of sort of honks at you in a like sort of
how intimidating. Honk.
No, not like a clown, but more like a sort of, you know, like sort of a war, like a War of the Worlds type of like. No, it was more like a War of the Worlds type thing, where it's like real kind of an intimidating like blast, and
kind of like the Reapers from Mass Effect.
Yeah, totally, something like that, and like kind of, you know,
Doctor's his big sort of.
Yeah, that's it, totally. And you've got no way of like fighting these things, and you've got to kind of run away, and you've got to hide, and you know they make you feel vulnerable in that way, or that, you know, they'll have like really, really long cutscenes that have like really long drawn out cinematic pauses to add gravitas to like certain parts of it. You know, and they'll do stuff like that, or they'll like
you sure it wasn't just lag?
No, totally not lag, man. Totally not lag. And it was just like, you could tell that they were doing it for like dramatic effect. And like, you got like these little like things that you meet halfway through the game, and they're all sort of zippy and like, and they spin around you, and they make you feel like, oh, this is cute, I want to protect it. And you know, they're really, like I say, they're really, really good in this game. Like, it's that game company who did Flower.
Yeah.
And they're just really good at like sort of just pulling your strings, and like, you know, just pinpointing the emotion they want to get from you, and kind of using all these little tricks to kind of get it out of you.
The only game of theirs I played is Flow, but that does the same thing, but with very little. They seem to it's sort of minimal design, isn't it?
Yeah,
like,
yeah. It's very minimal, very kind of.
I know it's an overused word, isn't it? But it is minimal. They do the most they can with a tiny amount of.
Yeah, it is with Flow, but with, I think this is probably their most packed, visually packed game, as it were.
Yeah, it's their first game with sort of a point, isn't it?
A proper environment, yeah. And like some of the stuff in it is like amazing. Like a part of it, like even feels like a weird like SSX game where you're kind of surfing down these sand dunes, and it feels like you get this adrenaline rush of kind of like, oh yeah, I'm jumping, like sliding down this sand dune and jumping off things and flying and floating, and it's all free and amazing.
A bit like Sonic Adventure.
Yeah, a bit like that. Yeah, very much like that, mate. Yeah. You feel very much like Sonic.
In a shroud.
In a shroud, honking at people, pinging at people, I should say. But yeah, no. So yeah, I mean, it's a really it's one of these games where I really got in the situation I was in, I got really, really drawn into it and really kind of oh wow, this is brilliant, and I'm getting manipulated in totally mad ways, and this feels like something a bit special. And then we had our first person not invade, but kind of come into our game.
Yeah.
And the first time that happens, you're like, oh, this is brilliant. So you're there ping, 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 hi, I'm over here. And they sort of come over and it's all oh, hello, ping, ping, ping. And you sort of stand around for a bit, looking a bit awkward. And then it's he runs off, so you run off after him and you go off and do a few things together. And it was a really kind of magical thing where it's he was pinging when he wanted me to come over. And I was pinging when I was oh, I'm going to go off over here. And you would get without even speaking, we were building up this kind of dynamic between the two of us, and it was brilliant. And then we grow off into this next section, and he sort of disappeared, just sort of disappeared off into the ether. And it was all right, okay, that was really, really good. Oh, that was amazing. Having someone just tagging along with me, because I haven't seen anyone for a little while. And oh yeah, brilliant. Oh wow, that was just such a brilliant thing to have another person in the game. It makes you feel oh, there are other people in this world.
It is a world. Yeah,
it is a world, and it's just not me being really isolated. It's not like Fallout 3 where you're just wandering through a wasteland with feeling alone and desperate.
Yeah.
And
other than some robots.
Yeah, exactly. So
I don't even mean the robots. I mean the actual humans.
Actual humans, yeah.
It's like Westworld.
Yeah. And so then that was brilliant. And then I went through the next section, and then someone else joined. I thought, oh, brilliant. Oh, nice one. Oh, yeah, we're going to have another person who's going. And then the game sort of started getting it went a route I wasn't expecting it. It went kind of this person had obviously played the game through a few times.
Yeah.
And wasn't prepared to wait or help or do anything.
Yeah,
they would just
play it properly.
Yeah, they would just basically ran up to me, jumped up and down like a nutcase, span around me a few times, and then shot off. And I was like, right, that's a bit annoying. Whoa. Leave me alone, mate. Come on. What's all this about? This is a bit kind of aggressive. And then it just shoots off, and then he goes off and completes the whole of this little puzzle, complete without me even being able to do it. Shoots off, finishes the level. And I'm like, all right, so you've just completely destroyed this first puzzle that I've got to.
Man.
And I was like, oh right, oh well, thanks for that, mate. You've completely ruined it now.
I
was like, all right, well, let's just put that down. He's gone now. He's gone and completed the level, and he's disappeared off. So I tell you what, I'll wait here, and then hopefully someone else will join. So I go through and I do the puzzle and whatever, and then get into the next section. I think, brilliant, right? All right, let's see if someone else, someone else has joined the game. Brilliant. Okay, let's see if they're going to be cool. And then they just did the same thing. Now, I don't know if it was the same bloke. I don't know if it was or whoever.
That's the problem. You can't block people because you don't know who they are.
Yeah, you don't know who they are. So I don't know if it was the same person, but they didn't seem to be doing the same thing. But they were quite keen to just rush off and do as much as they could as quickly as they could. And I was just like, right, I'm not having this because you're ruining the game for me now. You're getting all these puzzles. I'm getting all these puzzles that I want to take my time over and really kind of study and have a look around and be amazed by the beauty. And all you want to do is shoot off and complete it as quickly as you can.
So with there are puzzles that one person can complete on their own.
Yeah, totally.
You think they'd change it so that...
Well, I think it's because so you can go through it as a single-player game.
Yeah, but maybe the puzzles could change if a second player joins.
Well, yeah, I suppose that would be a good way of doing it. That definitely would be a good way of doing it now, having played through it.
Yeah.
But it's admittedly obviously I'm late to this game, so there's going to be a lot of people who are playing it for the second, third, fourth time.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was just really annoying. So I ended up I got really, really pissed off that these people were just crashing through the game without any regard for if anyone's never played it before. So
can you save the game?
You can come out of it and then go back into it again. Yeah.
So, but would that puzzle still have been done because
that would have been done in your world? You couldn't go back until you completed it. So what I ended up doing was just yanking the Ethernet cord out and just pulling it off the net. And just going, all right, no one's coming into my game. And then you know, between the three of us, we ended up like, you know, just going through the game and getting all the experience out of it, and then it went back to being a really, really nice, beautiful, you know, emotional thing.
Yeah.
But like, there was a little bit in the middle there where it made me really, really angry that these people were just like ruining my game. You know, and I know that's not what they were supposed to be getting from having people come into your game and like, you know, it being a wonderful moment. So yeah, I think I just had a bad experience with that little bit of it, but for the rest of it, it was absolutely amazing, man.
And as there are no mics, you couldn't even say you're doing it wrong.
Yeah, like, come on, or like leave me alone, or go away, or anything like that. It was just like there was nothing I could do. I could just ping aggressively. Yeah. Go away, go away, go away, go away. Yeah, it was ridiculous. But yeah, I got all the way through it in one sitting, and it was like, yeah, it was stunning. And I definitely recommend. It's actually one of those games, one of the few games where I'd actually go back through it, I think.
Well,
and play it again.
Do that often with games.
I don't do that at all. But it was one of those games where I
Did
feel
you used to do that back in the old days? I was wondering this the other day because you always like.
No,
say with an Amiga game, would you do that if it was like say an hour-long game?
No, I really didn't. I never went back through it. I'd play a game and I'd finish it, and then that would be it. It would be done for me, you know. It was like I'd go through like Monkey Island. I loved that game, but like it's one of those games where I could have said quite easily, "Oh God, yeah, I'll play through that again," but there's no point because all the puzzles are done.
Yeah, no, I see you. Yeah, I see what you're saying.
So it was, yeah. I mean,
I just wondered because when you were saying you were looking for shorter games, I was thinking of things like, say, arcade games and old console games where you can like Streets of Rage where you can rush through it. But if you're not going to do that a second time, then I guess you're looking for kind of more like a deeper experience from a shorter game.
From a shorter game, yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Like sort of that, not that kind of iOS, not that kind of iOS thing of like
repetitively playing the same game over and over for an hour.
Joyride, where you're just bashing your head against a brick wall, doing the same thing over and over and over again for 1,000 times to get like, you know, another half a metre further in front of where you went last time. You know, I want something that's short but has got a bit of depth to it as well and a bit of something. You know, so yeah, I've been looking for games like that recently, just to kind of, you know, get home, be able to play a game for an hour or like 4 hours tops. You know, like 1 hour stints during the week.
Are you going to do Walking Dead too?
Yes, that's turned up now. Because that took forever to come out on the PlayStation. For some reason, there was some weird thing where they couldn't. It was out on the Xbox, but it didn't come out until the PlayStation for ages. So yeah, I think I'm going to get into that next week after we get back from Gplex.
Good stuff. So, that sounds about the length you're looking for.
Yeah, totally. That's definitely what I'm looking for, man. Well, so yeah, I've been picking up. Been in the Steam sales. Has been fun.
Dangerous.
Yeah, exactly. Because talking to short games, I ended up using OnLive for its demos. I thought, well, I'll go through there and I'll see if there's any kind of games on there that have any like sort of 30-minute demos that like would show me some shorter games that would be quite fun.
Yeah.
And I ended up picking up Orcs Must Die.
Oh, I've heard good things about that.
Yeah. I mean, I haven't literally all I've done is the 30-minute demo, and then I ended up on OnLive, and then I ended up picking it up on the Steam sale for like £3, like reduced, like 75% reduced. But yeah, from what it looks like at the moment, it's like tower defense, like third-person shooter, but tower defense. So you have a castle, and then you defend that from a band of orcs that are sort of steaming in through the castle gates.
Yeah.
So you have to set down you have to pay for and set down traps, and then you either get a crossbow or a sword. You can have both. You know, you basically have a set of slots at the bottom. Then you say, right, I've got 6 slots. I can only have 6 traps, or I can have a weapon like a sword, crossbow, and then you know, whatever slots are left, I can fill those up with traps. You know. And then what you do is you earn money for every kill you get, and then you can spend that money on traps as you're killing. So you've got this like risk reward of, right, do I shoot more guys to get more money, or do I just spend all my money now and put down traps as I'm fighting, and let them take the guys out while I'm, you know, laying down traps, traps to kind of, you know, set for the tower defense, you know. And it's been really, really good fun. Really, really like really been enjoying it.
Nerdy question: how do you build up your resources again? Is that by just killing and getting through more waves?
Just killing the orcs, just going through as many waves as you can, really. And it's really good fun. Some of the, you know, you get like sort of arrows that shoot out of the walls, and you have like tar pits to slow them down. And like what the one I got, which is good fun, is like a furnace that pops up from the floor and just puts out a massive blast of like flame. So what you can do is you can put down a tar pit with like arrows on either side, and they shoot out and kill the first wave, and then the second wave come through, and then the furnaces pop up and blast them, and then they all turn into ash, and then like does the old comedy Acme kind of like everything floats down, the ash sort of stays there for a second and then dissipates. You know, it's excellent. It's really got like a really nice cartoony vibe to it, and a bit of a like the main character's a bit of a kind of Bruce Campbell-y kind of oh, I didn't know that was such and such, you know, like always wisecracking, and you know, like every time you complete a level he does a little dance and the splits, and you know, it's it's really good. It's really good fun, really quite comical, and like for £3 on Steam, it's wicked. You know, like I said, I played it on live, and then I was like, this is brilliant. I'm going to pick up like a copy of this on Steam if it's only £3. So yeah, I'm going to have a bit of a go on that next week, I think.
And you can actually sort of like lump in with the fight as well, yeah?
Yeah. Like you say, like you can either have you've got a crossbow, so you can take people out at a distance, which is what I've been doing, or you can have like a sword, and you can just go wading in and like kind of, you know, meleeing away like a nutcase.
Is there any multiplayer?
I haven't noticed any multiplayer.
I'm guessing it wouldn't work because the orcs would be so underpowered.
But like I said, I was on live, so it was kind of. But I fired it up on the PC, and it looks like the PC version. It's got different stuff to the live version.
That's strange, isn't it? Because most of the on-live games are almost like, well, they are identical. They're just running on a PC.
So I don't know whether the one I've picked up in Steam's like a slightly, you know, it's got all the DLC or something.
Oh, it could be, yeah.
It could be that. So I'll have to have a look next week and report back on it. But
playing it on the PC, it'll be like having the mud removed from your on-live screen. Do you know what I mean?
Oh yeah, totally. It looks literally all I did was fire it up, turned it on, went, this works. Oh look, let's play through the first couple of waves. Yep, that works fine. Looks more beautiful than it did on my, like, you know, crappy on live connection, and then turned it off. So yeah, I'm going to give it a proper go next week, I think.
Oh, good stuff.
Yeah,
man, on your on live, right?
Yeah.
Tell me if this works for you. Next time, like when you're on there, try, you won't believe this, the Wheelman, you know, the old Vin Diesel game.
Yes.
Give that a go, because on mine, like most games have this muddy look to them, right?
Yeah.
The Wheelman looked like I was playing it on like some kind of supercomputer. It looked incredible. So try the demo. And I'd love to know if it was just a random by fluke thing that I got a really good connection for that one game. But
I'll check that out, man. I'll check that out and report back next week.
Hoorah!
Yeah, man. So what have you been up to?
Well, obviously in the past week I've been playing quite a lot of Mega Drive games because of last week's show.
Because of the music.
Yeah, because so they involve playing in short bursts as well. Do you know what I mean? It's unless you're playing some random old JRPG, which I wasn't really up for at the time. But then I got a real JRPG burst at the end of the week.
Right.
I just really wanted to delve into something a bit deeper and a bit meatier and a bit weird in Japanese. So I was umming and ahhing. I had a little go of Enchanted Arms on the 360.
Okay.
It's by the director and producer of Dark Souls.
Oh, nice.
It's pretty much the Dark Souls team, but a game they made quite a few years back. And it's your traditional JRPG, sort of strategy RPG, I suppose.
Yeah.
You know, you got like a grid and turn-based battles.
Is it like like Disgaea type thing, or is it more of a...
Yeah, a simplified version of that. I think you've only got like 12 different slots on the battlefield, so it's...
Okay, so sort of
the strategy's quite basic, but...
So it's sort of kind of isometric, and you know, you sort of have a certain amount of move squares you can do, and you can go over and get next to someone, and then you can attack them, that kind of thing. Yeah.
No, in fact, it's even got an auto button as well that just does auto, which is like it was all right when like I was trying to do other things and just sort of grinding for a few minutes.
Yeah.
But it's like, that's what a weird thing to be there, because a JRPG, other than that, the gameplay is just like running from city to city, pretty much, isn't it? And buying some weapons.
A game that plays itself. Almost.
Yeah.
You know, just lets you go through the story.
Yeah.
It's like a forerunner to like Mass Effect, and it's kind of like easy mode.
But it's an odd game. I'll give you that. I keep switching between the Japanese and the English, American voices.
Oh, right, okay.
Just because the English ones are so annoying but then the Japanese ones, I can't understand what they're saying. So I know I've got the subtitles on, but sometimes it's just nice for the big gist of the story to like get it in the voices. So
nice.
I'm having quite a weird time with that. So I thought I'm going to plug in my Vita. Not played it in a while.
Right.
And because that's like the old PSP was like your JRPG handheld, really.
Yes.
And again, I've been playing PSP games on the Vita, not Vita games. But hey, don't blame me. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's not like there's a lot of choice at the moment.
I've got a Vita to never touch Vita games. Brilliant.
But yeah, I've been playing God Eater Burst.
Right.
Which is people say it's a Monster Hunter clone, but I've never really played Monster Hunter. I played a demo once, and it seemed like it would be my cup of tea. But like World of Warcraft, there's sort of you either have to devote yourself to that game and just play that for however long, or not get anywhere with it.
So is it a massive time sink like Monster Hunter?
Monster Hunter is apparently, a dirty, filthy time sink. And I'd heard this is like a simplified clone.
Okay.
Like, not quite got the depth, and it's got a sci-fi setting rather than a sort of orcs and wizards setting. So I thought, it sounds quite interesting, and it feels like it should be one that you can sort of dip in and out of and play a couple of missions here, a couple of missions there. But then for the first 5 or 6 missions, after each one, there's been like loads more tutorial about all these systems that are going on behind the actual game, like the real physical gameplay.
Yeah.
Like, you know when you get like menu after menu after menu.
Menu inside a menu inside a menu. It's like Russian dolls.
Yeah, like you go to change your weaponry and then you've got a choice of bullets, but then you can then make your own bullets out of objects that you find in the world, and certain bullets kill other certain types of monster better and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And like I know loads of games do that, but for something that you're meant to jump in and play in little bits for a portable game, it just feels like a bit of a drudge.
So are you forever having to look through menus just to get through the game? You know, is it more menus than actual game?
I think you could delve into that side. At the moment, I haven't had to go into it too much. I just sort of flick through the tutorial and see if I can get through the next monster.
So you don't
without in that.
Yeah, so you don't have to do it, but it kind of, if you do it, then you really get something out of it.
I think in a few levels' time, I probably will have to do it. There's going to be a point where it's going to force me to go in and start upgrading and synchronizing and like all that kind of stuff. So,
okay.
But for all that, the actual game is really good. It's a sort of arena shooter, but single player unless you're within Bluetooth range. It's not actually got wireless internet.
Yeah.
Unless you've got a PS3. But it kind of feels like you're online because it's got AI characters that act really nicely.
Cool.
Like they do what you'd want them to do, unlike most JRPG AI characters.
So do you find that an annoyance though that you can't play it online? Would you, if you had the option and it was easy to do, would you really be bang up for playing that online with a bunch of randoms, or you know, would you be trying to like pull people into this game and going, oh yeah, I've got this game, you know, and trying to set up your own groups if it was easy enough to get online?
I'd give it a go if I had a PS3. I'd give it a try. I'm not quite sure if, again, it would be too much of a time sink to do that with.
Yeah.
And whether it's actually worth it for this quite repetitive game. Again, like Monster Hunter, it's like they're very good games, but you are doing the same thing over and over and over for like hundreds and hundreds of missions. So
yeah.
I think it might be one of those things where I'm going to learn the systems and then maybe go back to it here and there.
Right, gotcha.
But I think I'm quite glad that I'm not going to get completely
pulled into it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like I'm not knocking it. It's great game, but you'd need to be like proper devoted to it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. This would have to be your game, and that was it. And
yeah, and I'm kind of not capable. Like my attention span doesn't do that, as I'm sure you.
No, exactly. I can just about
do
that.
The menu of an online game, and I'm like, "Are we finished yet?"
Yeah, exactly. I'm bad enough with like something like Battlefield or COD, where I get to about level 25 or 30 and just go, oh, I can't be fucking bothered, and then and then walk off. You know, so like trying to play a 100-hour RPG with like menu upon menu upon menu that I've got to dive through, I just couldn't. I just switch off.
Craft your own bullets in COD.
That would be amazing.
That
would be like some crazy Molyneux type thing where it would be like
you have to collect the empty casings and then like bits of gunpowder from here.
Yeah, you're just wandering around the battlefield with a little metal detector, picking up all the old like bullet casings and like taking bullets out of men to try.
Oh, you can have teams of people doing that on behalf of the team.
Yeah. You're behind the strike team, just like hoovering up the bullets.
We just invented the world's worst first-person shooter.
Exactly. Yeah. Totally. Called Bullet Squad.
Yeah. Right. Patent that, right?
Yes, exactly. Quick, bulletsquad.com. It's ours. Right. So, anything else, mate?
I went from that to a game that I thought wouldn't be similar in a kind of I have to devote myself to the game kind of way. Dissidia 012 Final Fantasy Duodecim.
Yeah.
That's a name, isn't it?
That's nice and snappy, rolls off the tongue.
Yeah. And it's really good. It's like Power Stone or them like 3D arena beat 'em ups.
Right. So now I've never played Power Stone, but I always hear people going, "Oh yeah, Power Stone. Oh, they should bring Power Stone back. Oh, Power Stone's the most amazing thing I've ever heard of. Ever played. Blah blah blah. Everyone knows about Power Stone, and I'm like, I have no idea what Power Stone is. So explain Power Stone to me, and then why this is like Power Stone.
Right. Power Stone is like Street Fighter, but isometric-ish.
Yeah.
And with 4 players, and you can pick up weapons from like anywhere on the arena, and like there's guns from like Mercs and Commando, and it's like a massive Capcom mashup.
Right.
And this is a bit like that, but with only 2 players rather than 4. And you get the weapons you start with. But and
it's all
like
Final Fantasy
fully 3D
characters.
controlled. Yeah. It's like they just thought, how can we make some more money out of the Final Fantasy characters? I know, let's all put them in a beat 'em up that exists outside of the actual universe, so that we can get away with any story we want. And they managed to sell the story. It actually works.
Oh right, okay. So
it's like, you bastards! How did you pull that off?
So it's not like a Street Fighter where you kind of there's a story, but it's so hokey and bullshit that it's not even worth having in there.
It is hokey bullshit, but in a kind of Kingdom Hearts way.
Oh, okay.
Like where it's just so weird, you can kind of laugh at it for its
oddness,
madness. Yeah. Like they're trying to explain something, a bit like the Mortal Kombat story, I suppose, where they use loads of sort of their own mythology and lore to explain a story that doesn't really need explaining. It's like, fuck it, we got all these people to fight in one game. Look, that's the story. Do you know what I mean? Like,
yes. Nice.
But again, it's like layer and layer of depth and so many modes and so much content. And when you finish 012, which is 12, it's got the full prequel, which was the game before, which is 13.
Right,
so,
okay.
Like, it's technically the sequel, except it came out first, and they just shoved it in the second game as well.
Right, you've just completely blown my mind. I don't understand a word you've just said. You've got a sequel that was a prequel.
Yeah, right. The first
after the game that you've just finished.
Yeah, that's exactly what happens, right? The
Okay.
first Dissidia game was a prequel. It wasn't then. It was its own story. And now they've made a prequel to that story. So when you finish the prequel, you unlock the sequel.
Huh.
So you kind of get 2 games for the price of 1. Yeah, it still doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
But again, it just shows like how much random crap is in this game.
That's nuts.
It's really fun. It's really fun. But again, it's like one of those games where I wish you could ignore the menus a bit more than you can.
Yeah. So basically, you've picked 2 games that are just insanely deep, but you just have no want ever to get that deep in either of them.
Yeah, I probably will with the Final Fantasy one. I think I'm going to try it online.
Oh, okay.
I'll get my ass kicked. People have been playing it for like a couple of years now.
Yeah,
like,
you're going to find someone with like the kind of gem of awesomeness that destroys you in one hit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nice.
I'm guessing that's going to happen, but I'd be interested just to see what the best players can do. It's one of those games where there's more to the systems than you're kind of capable of doing at the start. Also, the first time I tried playing it, there's a mode called RPG mode where you choose your attacks from a list.
Okay.
A bit like a normal Final Fantasy battle mode, where it's kind of playing out for you. And I didn't realise what that was going to do at first. And then I looked online just to see, well, am I playing this wrong? And then everyone's like, yeah, don't play RPG mode. Just ignore it. Pretend it doesn't exist. It's shit. And then you go to action mode, and then you're actually running around, like, jumping, flying, running up walls and all that kind of stuff. And it's like, this is what it's meant to be like. Yeah, so I think I'm going to dip back in and out of that and see how it goes, man. You been playing anything else?
Yeah, well, I haven't been playing anything else, but I've been I've picked up this sort of not rumor, but I've heard about this game. Do you remember last week? Last week I say, the last time we were on talking together, I was talking about getting like a space shooter.
Yeah.
And I really, really desperately wanted a new space shooter.
Like the old Wing Commander kind of stuff.
Yeah, like Rogue Squadron or Wing Commander or something like that. And I found out about this game called Strike Suit Zero. I heard about this game. And it was like, saw this like video from that Rezzed show that went off down in Brighton.
Yeah.
It's like a PC expo.
Yeah.
And this game, Strike Suit Zero, was you're a mech that's that's an aircraft. Right, so you're flying around in a spacecraft actually, and you're flying around in space with these like massive space battles going off around you, and you're kind of dogfighting with all these little fighter spaceships, but you're this like sort of massive hulking, spacecraft that you're like sort of flying about and trying to, it's sort of third person, so you're like sort of behind the plane view rather than actually in the cockpit. And it looks mental. It looks like it's on the PC, but I had a check on their website, and looks like it's got a PlayStation Network symbol on there, so maybe coming to PS3.
Ooh, that's intriguing, isn't it?
Yeah, but
I mean, you wouldn't have the logo if it wasn't, would you? Surely.
Well, yeah, exactly. So who knows? But yeah, it's got this. It's just brilliant because you're flying around all these mad space battles, but then you can build up enough energy, hit a button, and then your spaceship turns into a mech. And then when you're in, you're a proper robot with like proper cannons, and you can then you've got like more energy in your weapons to sort of like really take big blasts out of these like sort of big tankers and stuff that are flying through space. And it just looks, or like you can use, apparently, like I was listening to the Dev Diary and they were talking about like you can fly into an area, a fighter goes behind you, so you can't, obviously you've got a big turning circle as a space jet. So you just flick into mech mode, and then you can just turn on the dime.
Sort of swing round, yeah.
Yeah, swing round really quickly, flick it back into a fighter jet, and then get after him. And apparently, it makes the dogfighting really kind of like really, really quick and precise.
Sounds almost like a robot in disguise.
Yeah, it's almost like some kind of transforming robot.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, it's amazing. I mean, I can't believe that no one's really ever done it before. But no, it does
look good though.
It looks amazing, absolutely amazing. So that is one to look out for.
What I liked was it's not too realistic. If that doesn't sound silly, do you know what I mean? It's going for the sort of sci-fi CGI look rather than we're making this like realistic deep space.
Yeah, totally. It looks
very
like
colourful and
sort of Rogue Squadron meets Zone of the Enders. That's what it kind of looks like to me. So yeah, really, really kind of that looked really impressive. And I saw the video and I was like, sent it to you. I was like, Dan, I want this game now. Please go. I want this game. Find anything you can about it. It's amazing. So yeah, that's just blown me away this week.
You can buy the beta 5 times and give it a go and let us know what you think.
Yes, hopefully, yeah, I spent 50 quid on it when I only needed to spend 15. That'd be amazing. But
it's a bit harsh that they didn't actually give you the money back, by the way, man. I meant to say at the time, but...
Well, no, that is I will admit, that is in their sort of agreement thing that you sign up to.
Yeah, I suppose. And if you have bashed the button a few times, then...
I was banged to rights, and I mean, it's not like I didn't get the money back, it's just... it's store
you have to
credit.
spend it in the Sony shop.
Yeah, but then again, it's going to get me 90 days of PS Plus. When there's a decent. What I'm going to do is I'm going to wait for a decent PS Plus deal to come out, and then I'm just going to jump on it and get 90 days worth and get my fill. Because I think I've just missed a really good one, the one that Joey was talking about with like Space Marine and Motorstorm, Darksiders and all that. So yeah, hopefully I'll do one for like Christmas. Like a really big one for Christmas, maybe. So, I'm going to get involved in that, I think. But yeah, that's about it for me, man.
So is that the obligatory what you've been playing section out of the way then?
Yes, mate. Yes, the traditional podcast what you've been playing section. Yes. So, should we get off to a break then, man?
We'd better follow convention. Yeah, speak to you soon.
All right, mate. Break. What are you plugging the Mega Drive in for? I thought the Mega Drive music show was last week.
No, man. Someone's taken one to G-Plex for a bit of the old Street Fighter 2. Going to get some practicing, because I bet some players are going to be shit hot.
You should try one of those Action Replay cartridges instead. Just set it to infinite health and you're laughing.
Oh, and where am I going to find one of them nowadays?
Pass me the yellow pages.
Morning, Conked Out Consoles. How may I help you?
Hi. I'm looking for an action replay cartridge for the Sega Mega Drive.
Don't see many AR cartridges about anymore.
Yeah, it is rather old.
Sorry, don't think I'll be able to help you with that.
Okay. Thanks.
Hello, Metro Retro. Nigel speaking.
Have you got any Mega Drive action replays in stock?
An AR cartridge on the Mega Drive in 2012? You were having a laugh, ain't you?
Oh, okay, thanks. Cheers. Oh, hi there. You don't happen to have any action replay cartridges in stock for the Mega Drive, do you?
Must be your lucky day. One came in this morning.
Oh, you have got one. Dan, they've got one.
Don't tell him your real name. They'll know we're cheating.
Oh, can I pick it up for the Birmingham branch, please?
Yep, no probs. Can I take your name, please?
Ah, yes. My name. It's A.R. Cartridge.
Did you understand that? Listen carefully.
Dude, I'm thinking that they're going to spot that we've plugged a cheat cartridge in. Is there any other way I can get good at Street Fighter 2 by the weekend?
You could always take a crash course. Pass me the yellow pages again, mate. Discotheques, dogs. Here we go. Dojos. You've got Cobra Kai Dojo. Carl Douglas Kick-Ass Kung Fu Academy. No. This one looks alright. Miyagi-Do Karate Dojo. It does private tuitions as well. And you get a free Mogwai with every session. Sweet.
Hiya.
Hiya!
Just wondering if I could book a lesson.
Of course, Daniel-san.
How did you know my name, man?
Even stop clock tells same old cliche twice a day. 1 in 27 men between 30 and 35 is called Daniel. It's a numbers game.
Fair point, I suppose.
Quarter circle, forward and punch.
Hadouken!
Kick, duck, punch.
Kick, duck, punch.
Block, turn and kick it.
Block, turn and kick it.
Forward, down, forward and high punch.
Won't that tear his head off?
Heads on, heads off. Up, up, down, down, left, right, B-A.
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 You ain't getting me in no damn montage, fool.
Daniel-san, I have trained you well, but from this moment on, you must stand on your own one leg.
Will Dan succeed at the matchup of the century at G-Plex? Find out next time on Happy Day Eyes.
And we're back. But then we're off again at the end of this week, aren't we?
Yes, mate. Off to Birmingham's.
Yeah, Gplex.
Yes, mate,
The
Gplex.
Gonzo Planetary Exposition for people that don't know what that is.
Yes. Yeah, no, we're going to go and meet up with a load of guys from Gonzo Planet and, just basically geek out for a weekend. It's going to be great.
It does sound like good fun, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's going to be good fun, man. Looking
And
forward
then
to
we're
it.
doing the movie on the Sunday is going to be interesting, isn't it?
Yeah, The Dark Knight Rises. I've been trying to avoid all kinds of spoilers for it for like a week now. Because all my mates at work have been went to see it day one.
Oh no!
So I've just had to have my headphones in permanently at work to make sure I just don't hit anything. So yeah, it's been,
Is headphones for you easier than a ball gag for each of them?
Yeah, true. Yeah. It's just difficult to like tie the ball gags up. To get
Yeah,
the
fair enough,
harnesses
yeah.
on. So
Good point.
it's just a time thing, really.
Also, you get to listen to some lovely music.
Well,
It's
yeah,
a bit
exactly.
like when you go in the booth in Mr. and Mrs. where you
Yeah,
have to
it's very
listen
much
to
like that.
listening
Big,
jazz.
I'm actually going to like a big sort of box that's got like a glass perspex front on it, big set of cans. Just yeah.
Oh my
Exactly
god,
like
them
that.
headphones! You just reminded me of that. They were massive.
They were
weren't they?
huge.
Wow.
Yes, mate. So yeah, it's very much like that. Very much like
Who?
that.
What man? No one's going to know that reference, are they? Mr. and Mrs.
No, if
God's
you're
sake.
under the age of 35, then you have no idea what we're talking about.
Are we still doing that Terry and Jean skit, by the way?
Yeah, very much. Yeah, definitely. It's target demographic, mate.
Yeah.
Just for the kids.
Yeah. So if you're going to Gplex, then just come and say hi to us if you
Yeah, pop over.
know
Say,
who we are. Yeah.
Yeah,
or just say hello to everyone until you get to us.
Yeah, if you work out who it is, from us wandering around, basically going, "Hi, we're on this podcast," then come over, say hello.
Like we are both going to have AI bots tattooed on our foreheads. at the end of it.
Yeah. Both. I'm gonna have it across the knuckles, across my forehead, and maybe down like sort of. I was thinking kind of what's his name, Mike Tyson style, as a kind of tribal thing around the eye. Might be quite nice.
Keep it classy.
Yeah, no, keeping it classy.
You know, people have like hate and love on their knuckles.
Yes, mate.
I've always wanted to have hat and glove, especially in the winter. Do you know what I mean? It would be
Yeah.
nice.
Take your gloves off, and then you've got gloves on one of your hands.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
So yeah, that's my tattoo fantasy for this week. Look out for next week's Dan random tattoo that he's never going to have feature.
Right. So news, mate.
Yeah. I don't know if this is news or not. It could just be sort of PR bump, but EA apparently said that Dead Space 2 was too scary to be a single player game.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I've heard it's like kind of gross. Well, again, this is another game I picked up in Steam. Because it was like £3, So, but I'd never picked it up before because it was like, oh, this is really gross compared to the last one. Oh, Dead Space 1 was like sort of all tense and atmospheric, but this one's just really gross out and kind of things exploding out of things and blood everywhere. And I'd never heard that it was like kind of scary. It was just gross. So that doesn't wash with me, man.
See, I'd heard it was scary. I thought it was like a little bit more gory than the first one, but I think it's still got those kind of
still got the atmosphere and the jumps
tense
and
overtones. But yeah, I suppose you'd have to go some to get sort of more tense than the first game, though, wouldn't you? So yeah, I can see your point. But it's never going to be like that. And also, I think they meant the series previously, not just Dead Space 2.
Oh, okay, like the whole series in general.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, I know they were just trying to big up the fact that they've put co-op into their new game, and they were saying that like having an extra person there would make it less scary, so more people would be inclined to sort of play their game. But I was thinking, well, it's a survival horror game, and you're trying to take the scary out of a horror game. That's like trying to take the cute out of a My Little Pony game.
Yeah.
It's like ridiculous. It's like it completely defeats the object. Surely.
But then, yeah, I can see your point. But then every EA game at the moment has to have co-op thrown in there somewhere, doesn't it?
Yeah, so it has to have like every EA game has to have like a Game Pass somewhere for multiplayer, doesn't it? So it's probably something to do with that.
Yeah, of course.
That's all it is.
And in Dead Space 2, the PvP didn't work as a multiplayer, so they've had to think, oh, what can we do now? I know,
Yeah,
co-op
totally,
in a survival horror.
totally.
That'll do.
So yeah, it smacks of a bit of PR spiel to me, mate.
Yeah, we'll wait and see. I can see it being less scary though. It's also another excuse for them making it more toned down or more dumbed down, maybe than it was previously as well.
Worrying.
They're giving themselves a get out
Worrying,
clause
because
for a
that's
few
actually a
different things.
really,
there, aren't
really cool series of. Like, admittedly, again, like I haven't played Dead Space 2 yet, but the actual premise of it has always been quite intriguing to me.
Have you tried the iPhone game?
I haven't. I've played through the first game, and I played the kind of light gunny one on the PlayStation over at a friend's. Yeah, but that's about it really. But like I said, I really like the world in Dead Space. It's just a matter of kind of like it was the gross out thing that I thought I'm not spending £40 on like just basically essentially a really gross, violent, non-atmospheric Dead Space. But then I thought, well, it's like £4 on Steam. And it's going to look pretty on the PC. I can probably swallow it for that. You can't knock a game like that when it's that cheap, can you? Not at all.
No, not at all. And then to fall in further into EA's PR trap, they've unveiled the largest ever Battlefield map.
I'm proper Debbie Downer today, by the sounds of it. But like, I don't see the appeal of large Battlefield maps.
Well, they've said it's rediscovering the classic Battlefield.
But there's a reason. There's a reason they don't do those maps. There's a reason they don't do those old maps because they were too big. I know you can spawn on your mates and I know you can spawn on your squad, but if you're a single person, play it. I mean, admittedly, yeah, you could jump into someone else's squad and spawn on them, but I just find myself running for there's the big maps in Battlefield. I end up like someone's taken all the vehicles. There's no open squads. I had to create a squad on my own, and then it's just like right, okay, I'm starting in the starting area, and I've got a 15-minute run across the map to try and get to the bases before I can even start getting. Oh, and I've been shot. It's like if you're going to make an even bigger map. Unless you're throwing in like cars that respawn permanently every time someone respawns, it's just going to be like wandering across a vast open space doing nothing and getting sniped off.
Well, the spokesman has said there must be no endless generic travel between point to point, like a pointless merry-go-round that never changes speeds. So maybe they are going to change the vehicles up or something. What I've heard is if you get the main base, you get more vehicles for that. But I thought that had always been the way. Like if you get the airfield, you obviously get the plane and the tank associated with it, that kind of thing. So I think they're saying that there's something new that's not quite new as well. But
worrying.
See, for me, I think the levels in Battlefield 3 are too boxy. So I'd be interested to see what this is like. But on the consoles, I'm not sure that it will work with the lower number of players.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I mean, it's going to feel.
Seems like more of a PC.
Yeah, it's gonna. You're gonna hardly see anyone if it's on the console. That's what I worry about. Is that you can get to a stage where you're just sort of walking around and you spend the whole time you see one other guy, and that's it to shoot. Just seems a little bit. I don't know. It just seems more for the people who like flying planes and driving tanks, and not for actually people getting out and being an infantry soldier and kind of shooting. So yeah, it just seems a bit. Well, I don't know why they'd be targeting that kind of the tank driver and the pilot, because they must be a small percentage of the gameplay in public.
Do you think? Do you not like jump in and out of stuff as and when?
I cannot stand it.
Really?
Yeah, I like the planes. I just get in and crash, and the helicopters I get in and go sideways and crash, and like the tanks I pull forward and then I get taken out by a load of javelins. So I mean, admittedly, like I haven't played enough of it to kind of get good at it. Maybe I'll be amazing and it's the best thing since sliced bread, but I just can't see. It's just there's only going to be a limited amount of vehicles, and if you're playing on 16 players, you're not going to have 16 vehicles. So therefore, you're just wandering around a massive map. It just seems pointless.
Yeah. Oh, see, I like Battlefield for the vehicles. I like my gameplay with it is about say 60-40 or 70-30 foot to vehicle. I use them a lot, so maybe that's why I'm a bit more excited about this. I think you might like it though, because you were saying about you want a Star Wars game. The map's called Bandar Desert, which sounds like it's off Tatooine or something.
Exactly. So. Sounds like you're gonna walk into the cantina at some point. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
Oh, I'd love it if they put in like the burning rubble of Aunt Beru and Uncle Owen's home.
The charred corpses of the Skywalkers.
Yeah, like a little Easter egg, like they do in like GTA games. That'd be good. Or like Just Cause. They've got the bunker from Lost in Just Cause 2, haven't they?
Yeah, that'd be crazy.
And we do know that DICE obviously listen to the AI bots.
Oh yeah, of course, yeah.
Yeah. You heard it here first.
Exactly. Right, what else we got, man?
Really nice little story. This Steve Wozniak, one of the Apple head honchos, and
he's basically one of the founders of Apple. He kind of helped create the first Apple computer with Steve Jobs, didn't he?
Yeah. In fact, he did most of the work. I think.
Yeah.
He's on the actual engineering
side.
Yeah. And it turns out that in the late 80s, early 90s, he was the best person at Tetris in the States.
Yeah, basically, like what was it? He basically got taken off. Can't really remember what it was, but basically he wasn't working. He didn't have to work anymore, so he just spent all his time playing Tetris and got so good at it that he became the #1 player in the world at Tetris. I mean, that's amazing.
And like every month they named him in Nintendo Power.
Yeah.
But I guess a lot of people back then wouldn't have known really so much who he was, or have put the two and two together.
No, exactly.
But it got to the point where Nintendo Power were like, sorry, we can't have you there anymore. I guess because it didn't help the competition.
It was basically, look,
you know what I mean?
It was like, look, Steve, you're so good at this, mate. You're actually stopping other people from getting to the top of the leaderboard. Look, do you mind? It's not even do you mind. It was just like kind of, look, we're not going to print.
Sorry.
We're not going to print your name anymore. Which I think's brilliant.
These are 10-year-old children that you're breaking their hearts.
You're a 30-year-old man, for God's sake. Stop playing Tetris. Go and build some more computers. Leave us alone.
He got round it though. He actually reversed his name.
That's brilliant, isn't it?
And sent it in again.
Yeah.
And then he got to #1 again with his reverse name. But apparently he forgot that he'd sent it in backwards.
And they got.
I was really surprised when someone else had the same score as him. Look.
You can just imagine it, can't you? Him sitting there going, "Who is this? Like Yves Cagnoir?
Yeah.
Have they got such a brilliant score? Why haven't they printed my? Oh, hold on, that's me. Brilliant.
It's proper California, isn't it?
Yeah, totally, man, totally. He was so stoned that he couldn't remember he'd done it.
All I can remember is the blocks, man.
Yeah, it's cool.
And then, recently you picked up Fez, didn't you?
Yes, mate.
Now a lot of people have had problems with the last patch that came out for it, haven't they?
Yes.
Apparently, it causes like a save killing bug.
Yeah.
But it's only for about 1% of players. So Polytron have decided, well, we're not going to patch it; it's too expensive.
Yeah, well, no, it's a bit of because I've been reading up on this, and basically, essentially, there's a bit of a kind of back and forth between them and Microsoft because Polytron are saying, well, we're being asked to take it back through cert, but because it's the second cert, we've got to pay an extortionate amount of money, and because it's only
$40,000, isn't it?
Yeah, and because it's only 1% of players, it's just not cost effective for us. We won't make any money if we do it.
Yeah.
Or we'll make money, but it's just you're going to take 40 grand off of us, and we can't afford that. Whereas Microsoft saying, oh well, no, we work with them, and we said we'll do everything we can to make it as cost effective as possible. And it's just kind of like it seems to me as a bit of like sort of Microsoft going, look, we tried our best and we got it down to 40 grand. It could have been 200 grand, but But it was
my thinking of it was that Microsoft said, well, if you take your cut down from say like this much by a couple of percentage points, then we'll sort of waiver the fee for the patch or something like that.
That probably makes more sense, doesn't it? But yeah, it's a shame because that 1% of players, obviously, it's still quite a big number worldwide, but like.
Also, it leaves people with a funny taste in their mouth for the next game that he ever chooses to release.
Oh yeah, it's a bit of a weird one.
Because he's hoping to launch on PS3 and Steam soon, isn't he?
Yes.
The exclusivity runs out.
Well, yeah, he was saying on his blog that basically if he'd have done it on Steam, he'd have had it patched by now. It'd just been done and forced through, and without any kind of issues, and there wouldn't have been a problem. But
then, it's this whole culture where patching isn't seen as a problem at all anymore. I can kind of see Microsoft's point that if you haven't finished making your game, we're going to charge you a penalty for.
But it's this whole thing of
putting something bad on our service.
It's this whole thing of kind of where does the line get drawn? Like we're apparently in the media as gamers made out to be like this slathering bunch of like we've got to have it now. Where's my game? Where's my game? Like, oh, Fez, it's taken 5 years to make. Oh, it's going to take another year because you've got to try and like iron out all the bugs. Oh, can't wait for that. Oh, not going to play it now. Like, is it the fact that we're, gamers are a bit like that, a bit kind of just can't wait for the next thing, or is it kind of developers putting pressure on themselves to just force it out because of that,
Yeah, I think it's probably 6 of one and half a dozen of the other.
Really?
And I think Microsoft probably play on the fact that it is a bit of both.
But do you think we shouldn't be as, in an ideal world as gamers, should be a bit more patient with stuff like that and go, well, because we're like that with stuff like Blizzard and Diablo 3.
Yeah.
And, with Valve, we're quite happy to be patient and say, Oh no! Make it ready when it's ready, Valve. No, please. You know, I'm slathering for Half-Life 3, but please put it out when you. I mean, admittedly, there are a lot of people saying, "I want it now, I want it now," but like, you know, it's still quite good-natured, and you know, kind of like people are still being quite patient about it. But the excuse is always, "Oh well, it's Valve. I trust them." But you know, just because it's Phil Fish, why can't we trust Phil Fish to like, you know, take another year and actually get it right? Why can't we trust a Bethesda to just, for fuck's sake, just put Fallout New Vegas in the cooker for another year and just iron out all the bugs? You know.
Do you really think gamers are as impatient as the games media makes them look?
Well,
I don't think we are.
That's the point I'm trying to get at. I think that we're perceived as being impatient, but it
helps the PR game for us to be an impatient, slavering bunch of dogs. Do you know what I mean? It builds up hype.
Yeah, totally.
Like these mystical gamers that you never ever see, that like wear their baseball hats back to front and are slavering at the door of game every day for the new release. I just don't think the world works like that.
That's the thing, is that's the point I'm trying to make. Is like, I'm not doing a great job of it, but like, you know, I think that there are PR cycles, and that the hype's built up and the hype's built up, and it's kind of like, if we don't get a game out now, we're never gonna, you know, there's this slathering demand for it. We've got to catch it at its peak, and like, I think because you're tied into a lot of publishing developers are tied into that, it might actually be harming games as a whole to come out. I mean, I know they've got a bottom line, and at some point a game's got to come out or they're going to lose money. But I think there's a weird sort of triangle that each point of it doesn't talk to the other point, and there's a communication missing, and it's kind of like you're losing. You know, at the end of the day, the game's suffering for it because you've just got to force it out to get it out, and then patch it later and hope for the best. You know.
See, what I think is a nice way around it is the way that the App Store has it, where most patches seem to be an update that actually increases the content of the game as well.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, it's the sweetener, like the spoonful of sugar that helps the medicine go down.
But the problem with that is you're running on such a, it's just, you know, the games are smaller. The games are not so as...
Yeah, that makes sense.
You know, asset heavy, you know. If you were going to do, like, say, for Fallout New Vegas, now that was a buggy game and it was broken and it needed patching. But to then add more content to that, if you spent another 3 months waiting for the patch for that, and then they'd have to devote an exceeding amount of manpower just to create new assets for new, even if they reused assets, they still have to build stuff and build levels and dialogue and so on and so forth just to make that content update, you know, something a bit special like you would do on the App Store.
I don't mean a lot. I just mean like 2 or 3 of the levels that would have gone in the next DLC pack anyway, as a taster for the DLC to come or something.
Yeah, I just think it wouldn't be cost effective to do that. You can do it on the App Store because it's, you know, because it's such they're such small games and they're such bite-sized games that I think you can get away with, you know, knocking together another 20 Angry Birds levels.
Also, I guess you have to, because the competition there is so fierce that you have to update or die.
Yeah, totally. So, I don't know where this conversation is going now, but
2 angry old men.
Get off my lawn. Patch my games. Right, sorry.
No, that's cool. We've had a couple of questions come through.
Right.
We've had one from a friend of the show, Sir Moni Phipps.
Yes, the lovely Mr. Simone Phipps, who did the most amazing thing of buying a sponsorship out on another podcast so that we could have some advertising to get out to an American audience, which is amazing. So
yeah, definitely. Yeah, and that's such a sweet gesture.
Yeah, it was so lovely.
Thanks,
man. We really, really did appreciate that, and that was just like above and beyond the Call of Duty. Yeah,
it warmed the cockles of our hearts.
Or a bit above and beyond the Call of Battlefield or any other shooter.
Yeah. Above and beyond good and evil. We can carry this on all day.
All day. Yeah, so thanks, man. So what was his question?
We better do him justice, haven't we?
Yes.
His question is, if you could change only one thing on one game, what would it be? Could be the characters, the controls, the story, etc.
Right, so what would you change, man?
I've been thinking about this long and hard, and what I'd probably do is I'd put more ducks in Gears of War 2.
Like rubber ducks? Or like locusty special monster ducks? Or like...
No, just quacking ducks.
Right, so your common garden mallard.
Yeah, pretty much. Well, I played the first game,
Right.
and it was just the one thing that I thought was missing was ducks.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean? I just thought it would improve Gears of War no end.
Okay. What, like Duck Hunt?
Yeah, maybe, or maybe just flapping around. You don't have to shoot them.
Oh, right, okay.
I'm not talking cruelty. Just
Oh, right. So more like sort of visual set dressing.
yeah, just there, just happening to be there.
Okay.
I mean, well, the town I live in is full of ducks. Maybe it's partly that.
So
but
you're saying
it would just make me feel more at
just
home.
cheer it up a little bit.
Yeah.
You know, maybe Dom and Marcus could take a break out from killing the locusts to like throw some bread.
Yeah, throw some bread and maybe just sort of play with the ducks, like dance around a little circle, that kind of thing. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Okay.
it's what would improve the game, surely.
Fair enough, mate.
No, to be fair, that's probably not what I'd actually change in a game. But I would like to see more ducks in third-person shooters. What I'd do is I'd put a single-player mode in disc driving.
Oh, right, okay, cool.
That game's one of my real loves, but it's one of the things that I think is sorely missing. And it's made by two blokes, so I can understand why.
So what you're
they
saying
can't
you'd
be-
have like say 2 or 3 AI opponents that you've got to like kind of race around a track with, yeah?
Yeah, and like championships and maybe like upgrades and that kind of thing. So it's got tons of tracks in there. It just needs something to sort of tie them all together. It's
Interesting.
fine as it is. I love it.
Yeah,
but
no, I know what you mean.
it would just give me a bit more
because like I've always
more
said,
meat to the game.
I've always said about that game that kind of I really enjoy the mechanic of it, but I can't work out what's going on because it's kind of like, I mean, especially playing you, and you never bloody update your update your game straight away. So like I end up like being.
Oh, I totally do. We were waiting for you for weeks, me and Sket.
And it's kind of like
You always did it on the last day before the game times out.
Yeah, exactly. It's about 2
Before you get an automatic loss.
before it's like 2 days before between each like flick of the puck or whatever, and it's like right, okay, so 2 days ago I did this, and I don't remember why I did this, and I don't remember what I'm doing, and I'm getting no rhythm out of this. So like you say,
That's why it's got the replay button at the top. You rewind it and watch all the players' replays before you, and then you kind of.
Having said that, if you had the single player mode, then I would be able to get used to just going like flick. Oh right, okay, I'm doing this, and all right, on this track I can flick it over here. You can replay it and learn the tracks. So yeah, it would be amazing.
A lot of people do that by playing the pass and play mode just on their own.
Okay,
but I can't be asked doing that. I'd rather just practice against people and lose. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. So there you go.
Yes, that's what I'd do. What would you change, man?
I have been going through Gran Turismo at the moment.
Yeah.
As a bit of research, because I'm a big Forza fan, so I wanted to see, I wanted to really kind of go in depth with Gran Turismo and sort of work out what the differences were. And I've been having a good time with it. But what I found really frustrating with it recently is the way that it locks cars out on you. Like in Forza, you'll be playing, you'll be playing through the game and you'll earn money. And the way the cars are locked out is you don't have enough money to buy this car yet, which is fair enough because all you've got to do is an obtainable goal. I've got to get £1 million and I can get a McLaren F1, right?
Yeah.
And that makes sense. I'm going to earn money to buy the car that I want. Now with Gran Turismo, you can do that, but there are only certain cars you can buy. Any other cars that you want to get are in this like kind of used car auction. But the problem with that used car auction is it only cycles after you've done a race. So if I want to get like I've been trying to do this historic racing league, right? I can't get a car brand new, like from the brand new dealerships that's below sort of 1990, right? So if I've got to do a historic racing league and it says you've got to drive a car from like between 1958 and 1970, well, I'm screwed. I can only go into the used car auctions, which is fine. It's like, in real life, you wouldn't just be able to go and walk into a dealership and buy an old, like, 70s Mustang, unless it was a classic car dealership. So you go to this auction house, and it's like, right, well, here's, like, 12 cars. Right, and then you look through the list and you go, well, none of these are historic cars. Well, that's a shame. Do another race and it'll reset. So you go away, do a race, come back. Oh, it's
Whoa. Wait, so this isn't like the auctions in Forza where other players put their cars up and you've got a choice
as far as I've
lots and lots of cars.
As far as this is like an in-house, just software AI auction house. It's just randomly circulating through the list of cars that are in the game. Yeah, so you're basically locked out from doing races until eventually a car pops up in the auction house that you can buy, and it might not even be the car you want, but you're just forced into, well, this is the only one that we're going to give you for a while. So there you go, take it. I might be completely wrong, and there might be an online like auction house that I can just go and buy it, but then it's an inflated fee. But to play it offline, that's all you can do. Is this auction house? You've just got to wait and hope that a car pops up that you want, and it's just like I just scrap that straight away. You know, I just make sure that every car was always in whatever the dealership is. You know, it's just under the Toyota banner or whatever, or the whatever. And you just go to Toyota and it's there, and it's the 1965 Toyota whatever. And then you just go and buy it, and you have to earn the money, and you buy the car, and that's it. And then I can do the race, and I'm not having to sit there constantly doing the beginner cup until, oh, right, oh, great, there's a car from the 1960s. Right, it's rubbish, but it's the only historic car I can get my hands on, you know. And then I've just wasted a load of money doing it up and modifying it. And, you know, so the thing I would change is I would just scrap that entire auction system. You know, the used car dealership in Gran Turismo. It's pointless and a waste of my time, and it's just a grind for grind's sake.
Sounds really unfriendly.
Yeah, it's totally unfriendly, man. I'm finding it really, really frustrating.
Be interesting to see if you would have thought that if you hadn't have played Forza. Not that we can do that. We haven't got a time machine.
Well, no, exactly.
But do you know what I mean? Like, Forza's accessibility
Yes.
is such a game changer.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe Gran Turismo isn't actually that bad. It's just that the other one is so far ahead.
Yeah, it just makes it easier for you. And maybe, you know, like you say, the accessibility is its key feature. But yeah, so that's the one thing I take out of it, take out of the game. Because it's just been driving me nuts. Pardon the pun.
See what you did there. Oh, yeah, we've got another question as well from Tetchy Soph.
Yes.
Now, she said, picture your least favourite person ever.
Yeah. What
game would you challenge them to a duel with, glove slap and all?
Right. So,
like a proper gauntlet throwing down thing.
All right, then, mate. So what would you do on that then, man?
I'd probably challenge Stephen Hawking on Dance Dance Revolution.
You can't say that. You can't.
What do you mean? He's rubbish at it. It'll be easy.
You can't say that, mate. You can't have that. You cannot have that as an answer.
Yeah, he's not my least favourite person, I suppose.
No,
look, he is my least favourite Dance Dance Revolution player.
No one hates Stephen Hawking. Come on.
Fair enough. All right, I won't go for that. Right. I'd play Joe Pasquale at Joe Danger.
All right, okay. So would this be like a competitive high score challenge?
Oh, it wouldn't be competitive.
It would be a one-sided fix.
Yeah. No, ostensibly it would be competitive. Yeah.
Right. Okay. So you just take
I just
Pasquale down for his squeaky voice. Yeah.
Yeah. If I could get him on a real motorbike, then that would be kind of, I don't know, maybe more fun, and there's more chance it could actually go wrong. But I'm going to go with Joe Danger. Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Me, I'll tell you what I'd do is when I heard this question, I was like, what popped into my head was, do you remember the James Bond film, Never Say Never Again, when they sit down and they have this big long mahogany table, and then out of it comes a video game, and then it was like kind of this weird kind of 70s green screen sort of Risk meets Res with electric shocks. And
I know the one, man.
Yeah,
that was quality.
I'd like to play that, right? And I know it's a fictional game and it doesn't exist, but I'd love to play that to the death. You know, like a proper, like, you know, you're getting electric shocks every time you get something wrong, and you're getting more and more buzzed. But then, you know, something happens and it stabs you or something. I don't know. But that would be amazing. Just sitting there and you're actually physically playing a video game to the death would be mental.
Especially if you had to go to somewhere that was set up exactly like that room.
Yeah. Proper like Casino Royale type, you know, with all the people around you, and it's a big like event, and it's all like, you know, people in their tuxedos and evening gowns, and, you know, evening gowns for the men. No, but yeah,
for the vicar.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, that always captured my imagination. Like, oh wow, James Bond's playing a video game. You know, it was proper mad. So yeah, that's what I'd do. Is I'd play them.
And who would you play it against?
It would be any type of like game snob, those kind of guys who go, oh well, it's not a game unless you it's not the correct version of the game because you haven't played it on the PC with a flight stick. I'm not even going to listen to your opinion unless that's what you've done and you've completed it with all 75 endings. You know, it's like, whatever, mate, just fucking do one. Like, get on the electric shock machine. I'm taking you down.
They'd probably be proper good at that, though, because it's quite PC-y, isn't it?
Yeah, but, you know...
See, there's a game called Defcon on the PC that's pretty much identical to...
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying I'd win, but...
They'd have practiced.
But then again, I wouldn't have to deal with them anymore, either way. So, I'd either die...
So even in a fight to the death? Wow.
Yeah, I just, it's either me or them, and they'd have to go. So.
You're a brave man.
So, yeah, on that depressing note, have we got... Is that all we've got, man?
I think that is, yeah. But if you want to send us a question, get on the old Twitters. We're at the AI Bots.
Yep.
Or you can send us an email. email@theaibots.com.
Super.
We love questions and stuff, don't we?
Yes, mate. Yeah, the more questions and the more emails we get, and any feedback you've got would be much appreciated, because we always love to hear, anything you say to us helps improve the show and make it a better experience for you guys. So get involved.
Oh, and if they jumped off a cliff, would you?
Yes. No.
It depends how nicely they worded it.
Yeah, exactly.
Cool. Yeah, so get in touch and we'll see you soon.
Yeah, we'll see you next week. Have a good one.
Nice one. Take care, mate.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Right, if we're done here, I'm going to go to the pub and see a man about a dog. Can you shut down the PCs and that?
Yeah, no problems, man. I'll see you later. Have a good time. Better get on with editing the skit. Oh, I can do this. Dan, you're a tiger. I am Iron Dan. I am Iron Dan.
You think you're the only podcasters in the world? Mr. Clark, you've become part of a bigger network. You just don't know it yet.
Who the shitting hell are you?
Imagine Willie, assistant to the Deputy Director of the Console Ninja Corp. I'm here to talk to you about the Ninja Bots initiative.